Oh, wait, there it is. Hold on, we're getting it. Test, test, test. All right. Hey, it's working. Oops. Let me turn this down. All right. Hey, everyone. Yeah, it's working. Just got super excited and just blew up everyone's. Oh, my hair looks terrible, doesn't it? Look at that poof. All right. Um, hey, everyone. Good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Jesus, so loud. There's a little bit of a delay here. Okay, so hi, everyone. Good evening. Thanks for kind of popping in. I'm gonna keep the chat open here so I can see people talking. There's two viewers. Here's what's so funny about this. I went downstairs a few minutes ago to my basement, and I got it's still clipping a little bit. I got the iPhone out and the tripod, and I was like, I want to record a pre-trip video. And I'm like, you know what happens every time I do this? There's been 3 times now where there are live streams on this channel where I've set out to go on a trip, and I do a live stream before, and it's been really nice to sort of like talk about it without having to import the footage and edit it and publish it later. In addition, this chat room over here will like have some really cool feedback. So I'm like, I should just use my new Logitech Brio webcam and my new. I've been working from home since March, and so a lot of the stuff I have now, like my dual monitor home setup, I have two. I have a 5K and a 4K monitor, as well as this Logitech Brio 4K webcam with this awesome. Like it really, like even in low. If I turn my light off here, yeah, it's still like. Oops, I almost dropped my GS here. Put that back up. It's actually pretty nice, right? It's a good lighting setup. And then I've got my Steel Horseman, and I've got my fancy Sennheiser USB-C microphone because I'm on meetings all day with my interns and my colleagues and stuff. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen, and so if you want to read all about it, by the way, thanks for watching. By the way, appreciate you dropping by. I don't know if this is going to go, but anyway, uh, this is on my screen a trip planning thread on Adventure Writer. So go give it a read if you want to. But basically, here's the thought process. I'm going to go some stuff here. So and I don't know if they'll be watching or not, but Neil and Harry. So let's go left to right. I don't know. The KTM 690 is Harry's bike. The KTM 790 is Neil's bike, and then of course the GS is my bike. Hey, it's cool to have one person watching though. um, so the three of us have done a lot of trips together this year. We did one together last year, and then a lot this year. This is a picture we took on the Northeast BDR in Rangeley, Maine, in May, I think. And so we've done a trip so many times on these three bikes that like two or 3 weeks ago, Harry said, "I want to do a trip to Colorado," and so we were like, "Okay." And by the way, in 18 minutes, another video is going to get posted with the unboxing of the new Moscow bags, but that's unrelated. So anyway, Harry wanted to do this trip. We started talking about it. We've had obviously I'm a project manager, so we've had like one weekly meeting for the past 4 weeks, I think. Yeah, talking about this trip, and it didn't really become real until about 10 days ago when like the location got set and the places we're going got set and all the sort of schematics. And in fact, 5 days ago I was in a toss up between I guess I can't really. I guess I'll do this. Does that work? There we go. Between the GS or the Beta, I actually didn't know what bike I was going to take. So yeah, I mean it was super, last minute sort of thing. I'm actually going to load up Basecamp here and show you guys what the trip's going to look like. Actually, no. Let me do Google Maps. Basecamp's still fine, but I'll do Google Maps and show you guys that. Does that work? Can I go full screen on this shit? No, I can't. I can just do this. Well, so what you're looking at here is Colorado. And let me just zoom out here. Oh, son of a gun. There we go. So that's the location. This is what we're going to be doing for our trip. We leave tomorrow. So we're leaving tomorrow at like 8 a.m. All 3 bikes are getting loaded up on a trailer. Yes, I'm trailing my R1200 GS because tires are expensive. And we're cannonball running out from New Hampshire to Colorado, the 3 of us. And by cannonball running, I mean by like Monday night, we're going to be in Colorado. It's a 32-hour drive. So we are sleeping in motels. But the only problem with 3 bros doing a road trip together is if you're super cheap like us, someone every night is going to sleep on the floor. Because no one's going nuts to butts. So usually, because I'm the youngest, usually I volunteer for night 1, which means like putting the air mattress down and sleeping on the floor of the motel. And then hopefully one of those guys will volunteer for nights 2 and 3. So yeah, so we're going to Salida, Colorado, and we are dropping basically the Toyota Tacoma and the trailer and everything off. And then heading down to the bikes. So I think the total mileage in base camp, let me just open this up. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Okay, so if I do get info, is that how I do it? Someone's going to tell me how to do this, but can I do Command I? No, of course not. Sorry, guys. Hold on. View detailed data list. Yes. Okay, there we go. All right, so total mileage is whatever these are. Here, I'll zoom in here. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. So that's our total mileage. This is our 7 days of riding. From Salida, we're doing 129 miles the first day, and then 59 miles the last day. And then if you look on the screen again, top right-hand corner is Denver, and then Colorado Springs is over here on the right-hand side. And then yeah, we're starting kind of in this area, and we're basically going to be doing this whole route all the way over to Moab and then back over 7 days. I'm super excited about it. So we started off with me being pretty convinced that I was going to take the beta. And the reason for that was because I was looking at some of these passes and I'm like, holy shit, these look really hard on a GS. Because I'm fat and the bike weighs 700 pounds before I get on it. So 1,000 pounds. And so I was just like, there's no way the GS is going to do these passes. But enough people that know me locally that have done Colorado were like, no, you can do it. Just go slow. You'll be fine. And you're traveling with guys who understand you. They're not in a big rush. They're okay with you stopping for drone footage and photos. So just enjoy the trip. So I'm taking the GS. The biggest problem with taking the beta is we don't have a base camp. We're going to park and then be out for 7 to 9 days. And so, the issue with the beta is, can I live off the beta for 7 to 9 days? The answer is yes, but in like a highly compromised, low comfort scenario where I don't have any camera gear with me, no drone, no camping light, no cook stove, no extra water except for a hydro pack. I mean, it's super minimalist. I can totally do it with my Reckless 40 from Oscar Moto, but the GS is just going to be a much more comfortable experience. And so I'm hoping that I don't drop the bike and like have it fall down a ravine. It's a possibility, but hopefully it doesn't happen. So this is our trip, and I mean, obviously we're going to be doing let me open up Google Maps here. So kind of our road out, which doesn't really make that huge difference, but so we're going to do St. Louis, and Salida. Yeah, we'll do that. So 32 hours, 2,000 miles each way. We're going to be actually heading down through Pittsburgh area. First night, kind of sleeping in Columbus. Second night, sleeping in Kansas City, and then we arrive in Salida the third day. That's the plan. 3 dudes in a Tacoma with 3 adventure bikes in the trailer. It's going to be low mileage. Low MPG, slow going. 65 miles an hour out there. And then once we get out there, this is basically the plan, is to hit all these spots. The trip is going to be, we've obviously done a lot of prep work in regards to, do I have this accessible? Yeah. In making sure we don't duplicate our efforts. So I'm happy to show this to you guys after, if you're interested in that for the ride report later. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Hopefully you can see that okay. I'm going to go a little larger here. Let's go 200. That's good enough. So hopefully we've done enough prep work. As you can see here, we've got a column here which is full of shared items. There were a couple things that are done here that are shared on Adam's bike that I've actually nixed. A couple things I nixed, and I've brought a couple things that are extra that I'm gonna like purge once we get to the trailer. So my thought process is, this always happens in our trips where one person will forget something, and so I'm bringing a lot of things on the shared list with the expectation of leaving them behind in the trailer. But the majority of my weight is actually going to be the camera gear here. My left and right panniers, these are the Moscow Moto 35s, pretty chill. And then shared items. I don't know if I'm really sharing the bourbon, but it's going to be there. And then Neil's on the 790. He has a lot of shit, and I'm like impressed that he's like bringing spices and cream and sugar and like, I don't know, whatever mess mini is, but like, so anyway, and then his first aid kit is pretty detailed. We're well equipped. 3 of us are nice because with 3 people you can divide the shared stuff really well. And for this trip, I actually, let me pull up a picture. For this trip, I actually ended up outfitting the bike with a bunch of stuff. So on this trip, I have, there's no tank back feature. That's Ernie, by the way. Ernie's my co-pilot this year for my big trips. So let me pull up the bike as it sits. There we go. So on the bike is the Moscow Moto Hood 5 tank bag. Right there, you can see it. Is there a better, like a sideway? There we go. The Hood 5 tank bag is equipped with the DJI gimbal. Inside, we've got just wallet, the Canon 5D, the 2470, and a mask, of course, because you need a mask now. I've also upgraded from the Backcountry 35 V1s that I bought 3 years ago to the Backcountry 35 V2s. The V2.1s are out, but you can't buy those as individual bags. And because I already had a bunch of the hardware, I bought the individual bags. So BC35 V2s. And then up top, we have the massive, huge camera bag loaded with all kinds of shit. And as you guys know from the last video, I also bought the Mavic Air 2. So it should be a lot of cool footage. Severely limited by the fact that I'm a terrible videographer. So I'm just going to do my best with this. But and then also this Tracker 20 is going to stay home. I'm going to stay in the trailer. That's extra stuff for the trailer, like the clothes for the trip out there and things that I don't need to pack on the bike. Obviously, we're going to be rocking the TKC 80s for this trip. Yeah, there's a lot of shit of client footage there. There we go. TKC 80s are going to be on here. Brand new knobs. I love TKC 80s. They're just so stable. They wear super fast, but they're the ultimate knobby tire for this kind of adventure. Did not change the oil. We're about 4,000 miles away from oil change, so we're good on all the maintenance stuff. But I did check the spokes, check the wheels, top off the oil. I do actually burn oil, by the way, on this bike, which is super weird. And I tried to make things as light as possible with knowing me, basically. But yeah, that's going to be the trip setup for this ride. And and to give you guys that view into my personal life, today is it's highly stressful because I have a lot of jobs, to put it lightly, and obviously I'm taking 2 weeks off, and my day job is like, oh yeah, 2 weeks off, fine, as long as you're operationally sound. Because I actually, all of my direct reports, my interns are on their way out. Today was their last day, and I don't get more interns for 3 weeks, so it's actually a perfect time to take a vacation. But my other job, where I manage 200 condos, today had a landscaping, John, my guy that cuts grass, hit a rock and like shattered a window. So then I had to scramble to take care of that. And then like a half hour later, I've got to start the propane grill for Heather. She's cooking pizza when she gets home. Half an hour later, one of my condos like flooded their washing machine. There was like 2 inches of water everywhere. So I'm like, I leave this trip in 12 hours and I've got all this shit adding up. I hope you guys forgive me. I'm gonna walk away for 1 second. Please don't leave. Heather's texting me because she needs me to start the propane grill because she's cooking. We do homemade pizza every Friday night, and usually we do the charcoal grill, but she was babysitting, so she and I both have 4 jobs apiece, and so I'm gonna start the propane grill. Just give me like 38 seconds. Feel free to time me. You can look at Porter while I'm gone. There you go. Check out the people on the camera. Porter did. Well, you did a good job. All right, sorry about that. That was actually shorter than 38 seconds. So, yeah, it's just constant madness, and there's a lot of shit going on, and so this is like this is the first like proper vacation I've had since our Trans Labrador trip in 2018, where I actually like leave and I go away and I'm gone for 2 weeks, and so um, every time I take a vacation, I also happen to have more clients. And so each time is a new kind of level of stress because um, more shit can happen and go wrong. And so, yeah, 2 of you left. I know, I get it because I walked away. I'm sorry. So anyway, let's get rid of this. Yeah, pickle. So packing list is sound. We are doing this route. So the plan is leaving tomorrow, um, there by Monday, and then 7 to 9 days of riding, and then 3 days back. Unfortunately, I think the calendar doesn't show up here. It kind of does. Let's see if I can figure something else out. Anyway, I'll look at my calendar on my phone. Basically, we are leaving the 22nd. Can I get a month view, please? There by the 24th. My birthday's the 26th, by the way. I'll be 34 years old, getting old. And then I need to be back in New Hampshire on Saturday the 5th and the 6th because I've got 2 condo association board meetings on Labor Day weekend. They do it, hopefully none of them are watching. This condo association is very summer centric, where like most of the owners live in Florida, and so they have 2 owners meetings per year, one on Memorial Day and one on Labor Day weekend. So my Memorial Day weekend and my Labor Day weekend are actually spent all weekend in board meetings, 2 board meetings. So Saturday the 5th and the 6th, I'm doing 2 board meetings because condos. Um, and so that's kind of the over high level plan. I've got a question from Rich. Oh, hey, Rich. Thanks for like jumping on. Yes. Oh my God. Okay. So quarantining. Um, the way we're doing this is we ignore the map because it's kind of, I mean, obviously that's the fastest route. We're not stopping in any major cities. We're actually going to be doing campgrounds or motels like outside of cities in order to like decrease our exposure to any other people, basically, because COVID isn't the problem. People are the problem because people carry COVID. So that's our first line of defense. Second line of defense is once we check into Salida and we wake up from our campground, we're out like in the wilderness. So we're basically off the map for that 9 days. So we won't have any exposure to people while we're on the trails. And then obviously we come back the same way, ignore people, avoid people, hate people, whatever you want to say. And then once I get back to New Hampshire, I have to self-quarantine for 2 weeks, which for me isn't a big deal because I've been basically doing that since March. I mean, like Heather does all the grocery shopping. I think there's, if you're like a virus expert, I'm not like a smart person, but if you're a virus expert, um, you would say that, well, Heather is going grocery shopping and you're quarantining, so you both should quarantine. Yes. So we've talked about that. So basically, we're just going to limit our exposure when we get back for 2 weeks. And when I say I have these board meetings when I get back, they're virtual board meetings, but um, the I don't want to rely on an iPad with Zoom to do these meetings. So I'm going to be back in the state. Um, but no, it's an appropriate question. Something we've thought really highly about, and all I can say is that we are limiting our exposure to people the entire time. And then when we get back, we just got to chill the F out and just kind of hang out and wait for the quarantine period to end. I do have a place locally where I can pay to get tested, so I'll do that as soon as I get back. And hopefully it comes back negative. In the state of New Hampshire, they won't test you unless you're having symptoms, unless you go to the walk-in clinic and you pay them like $400, then you can get tested. I mean, it's really a bullshit system. And I know I'm insured because I have a job, but it really is kind of bullshit because, you know, if I come in contact with someone that had COVID, they won't test you if you're not showing symptoms. So you could be a silent carrier and they don't care. And so that's been a problem since March. I've been trying to get tested since March, and you've got to go to a walk-in clinic. I've done it twice already, and I've been fine. But no, good question. I think I've been on for 22 minutes. I think I'm going to wrap this up. I just wanted to basically just kind of share with you guys that we're going to Colorado. There's a few videos that are already scheduled to be queued up. One should actually be posting right now. I've got 9 p.m. schedules for the next 5 videos. And so I'm going to go make some homemade pizza with Heather. But thank you for tuning in, and looking forward to this trip. It's going to be a whale of a time. Let me ask Heather quick. Heather, do you want to be on camera? YouTube people. She doesn't want to be on camera. We're going to make pizza. Yeah, Rich, you know, there's no way to there's no 100% safe plan. And we, you know, the three of us obviously travel together every weekend, and so we've pretty much been in contact the whole time, and all three of us are working from home. Actually, one of them, he works for in the music industry, so he's been off the whole year, just staying home, doing gardening and stuff. There's no fail-safe plan. You know, our town has a mask requirement. The next town has a mask requirement. We've been super careful. But I'm not ignorant to the fact that there is a carelessness to doing a trip like this. If I had it my way, I would go into Canada because I wanted to actually, let me show you this trip, and I'll answer your question in a second. But one of my trips actually that I wanted to do this year was going up here. Let's do this here. Can I do directions from there? So basically, one of the plans was for this summer's travel was actually going to be going from New Hampshire to all the way up here. And the reason why all the way up here is unfortunately it's a one-way, so you have to turn around and come back. But the reason why I wanted to go up here was because you can actually, when you get up to the last of this road, there is a so you see Nunavut, the province. This province on paper is actually not possible to get to, meaning that like you have to fly in or boat in, but there's no way to drive to Nunavut unless you go here, and then there's a little country road over here that actually will take you. Where is it? I think it's this spot right here. Basically, you can be in Nunavut right there if you walk over. You walk over to it. And so I was like, hey, I want to go to Nunavut. So I'm going to ride up to the very tip top of the roads in Quebec and then walk over to Nunavut. And that was one of my summer plans. And then COVID happened and we closed down. So that was actually my plan. And in fact, that's very supportive of quarantining and like being alone because you're basically getting on a bike and you're riding all the way up here. But Canada's closed and I can't go into Canada. So. Yeah, so to answer that question, so if I go over to the videos, so we have here 3 videos that are scheduled. I guess one just got posted, the unboxing of the BC35 V2s, but the rest of these are scheduled, and so they'll go up on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I don't do weekend videos, and so those will go up, and that'll be pretty much it for like 2 weeks, and then I'll have to edit this massive amount of footage. And then the final thing I'll add before I close this down, because we're going off onto 30 minutes, my server in the basement crashed. So I have a network attached storage that's 56 terabytes, and like it was 90% full. So I bought a new hard drive and went to install it. And when I did that, some crazy foolery happened, and the thing crashed. Now, luckily, I'm having to show you. Well, let's see if I can. So I probably shouldn't show this because I'm going to show you my private URL. So let's not get rid of that. Sorry, hopefully no one caught that. So what I'm going to do is right now I'm copying all the data off onto 3 external 16 terabyte hard drives, all the important stuff. Then I have to rebuild my server, and so there's a lot of techery stuff happening in the background. Basically, I had thought that I had lost all of my photos and videos from like the last 20 years, and luckily I didn't. But that's going to also impact kind of getting the videos out, because I have to import all this stuff into a new server build, et cetera, et cetera. I know you guys don't care, everyone's leaving, but the point is, yes, I'll get back, and then I'll need about 3 or 4 days to edit video and photos. There's going to be a ride report under the, by the way, if you're getting here later, go to the Trip Planning Americas thread for, I'll post a link in the chat room so you guys can read kind of our planning. Oh, I got to sign in to chat? No, I'll just do it here. So you guys can read that if you'd like to, just kind of get our stuff here. But yeah, we're going to put a ride report up after we're done. And yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing that. All right, Heather's here. We got to make pizza. And it's 9 o'clock. So thanks for watching. Have a good evening. Ride safe.